Hello everyone, and welcome to How to Take a Break with PM Kester. I'm PM Kester, All right, and this week we are talking about how to take a break from anger. And the episode can also be how to take a break for anger. We're gonna get deeper into that in a little bit, but before we get started, go grab a snack, go grab a drink, then come back and join me, and we're gonna have an honest conversation about dealing with your anger. Hope you stick around. All right, so I got my notes. I have my hot water with lemon, and I'm just gonna start off with housekeeping, which is, if you're watching this video, thank you. Thank you for grabbing your drink, your snack, and sticking around. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram at How to Take a Break, the little underscore right there for more content on taking a break. But for this week, I've been thinking a lot about anger. The thing that people often envision, like with the flames coming out your head, the screaming at people, the yelling at people. I woke up feeling very angry at the beginning of this week, and I couldn't wrap my head around those emotions in the moment. I was mad, I was thinking about so many things, and we'll go dig a little deeper into that. A lot of stuff bubbled up at the beginning of this week, and a lot of times when we get angry and tend to lash out, I think it is because a lot of things kind of collide at the same time and leaves this big juggernaut of emotions. So for me, at the beginning of this week, it was thinking about money, which I'm sure we're all thinking about that right now. So frustrations with money, frustrations with my health. If you watched some videos ago, I talked about how I had COVID in August. I am starting to feel some issues. I've been having some issues with my arthritis that kind of happened right after the COVID thing, and then going with the doctors now, trying to figure out how they can be related. But I was feeling some anger and some frustration with that. Frustration and all types of emotions with my job and stuff that was supposed to be coming up when I'm supposed to be moving a position, and feeling kind of stagnant, feeling angry about different office type politics going on there. And then just being real in a moment of transparency. All of that came in together, and then I started thinking about my relationship status. This time last year, I was in a relationship. I have been out of a relationship for a year. Does not mean I have not been dating. But for some reason, that crept in. So I got to Sunday of this past week, probably when this video is being released. So I got to the Sunday, and all that emotion just from all those things kind of crashed down on me. And I just randomly started crying, and then woke up Monday just feeling mad with the world, everything. I felt it in my bones. It was just like angry. No one had come up and touched me or done anything to me, but all these emotions and stuff were shaking inside my body, and I was frustrated and angry and not feeling it on Monday. So this video is talking about how I took a break from that anger, and it was 4 things that I did to kind of get myself emotionally back on track, to try to make me feel better and be a better human and function this week. And we're going to start with number 1. So the first thing I did when I wanted to take a break for anger and from anger, and we're going to talk about why it's 4, was that I let myself feel my feelings. And so this is where I talk about taking a break for anger. I was feeling all these emotions, right? We were talking about stuff with my health, stuff with my dating status, job, money. The old me, the me that was pre having a heart issue and almost having a stroke at 37, used to bottle things up, and that landed me in the hospital. So I stopped myself. Once I recognized what was going on, I woke up Monday and I was in this angry funk. You know, I still battle with it once. It was like, okay, get it together, push through, keep working. But I stopped. I'm so happy that I am so in tune with my body and my emotions that I was like, nope, I'm not going to bottle it up. I'm going to allow myself to take a break for anger and to feel my feelings. So if you're going to go to breakaway number one and taking a break from anger, it is to take a break for it, to let yourself feel those feelings, because those feelings are valid. You know what I'm saying? We're all allowed to feel our feelings. We're allowed to feel angry. We're allowed to feel frustrated about things that are going on in our life. And it does not benefit us to try to act like we're not having those emotions. If anything, it can do you more harm. Again, 37, going to the emergency room because they thought I was having a heart attack. I was going to have a stroke. One is not no better than the other. It was still an exclamation point, wake up call. So not bottling the emotions, taking a break for the emotions, taking a break for anger. That was breakaway number one of how I dealt with the anger earlier this week. And it was allowing myself to cry, allowing myself to scream, not at anybody, you know, scream into a pillow, scream in your backyard. Let people think you crazy. They probably already think you crazy. Shake, do whatever you need to do to just kind of and let it get out. It was a lot of crying. It was some and all that kind of crazy stuff going on over here. But you know what? It helped, right? It helped. So, breakaway number two on taking a break from anger. After I kind of allowed myself to cry, right? To cry about that frustration. I took an angry person walk where I just kind of allowed myself to get outside of my house and just kind of walk aimlessly or whatever and sit in those feelings and allow my brain to process those feelings. I came back home and then I wrote it down. I do a thing where I journal now every day. I wake up in the morning and I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. I also script. So I write about things as if they have happened. So things like, I'm so excited that I have finally started my job. This is what the first day looked like, blah, blah, blah. Instead of writing from that place, because I was very angry, I was not in a mindset for gratitude, I wrote down my anger. Everything that was getting on my nerves, everything that was frustrating me, everything that was rising and bubbling up, I wrote it down. I wrote it on a page. I took about 2 pages just writing down all the stuff that I was mad about. And it helped so much to get that out. And I think it was even more helpful because I almost feel like if I had to talk to somebody in that moment, I either would have cried and they would have understood what was going on with me, or I would have been so angry at any feedback they would have gave me, I would have lashed out. So it actually helped to get it down on the page. So number 1, let yourself feel your feelings. And number 2, write that angry feeling down. Write it out. Write down all those frustrations. Number 3, and this has been the big thing with me this week, I meditated on happiness. Happiness, I feel, is like a lovely antidote to some of our craziest feelings, right? Sadness, depression, despair, anger. And so I started to think, what would happiness look like for me? What would that feel like? And I have the Peloton app on my phone. If you follow Chelsea Loves Yoga, Dr. Chelsea Jackson, on Instagram, I think that's her name on Instagram. She does yoga and meditation on the Peloton app. I will drop a link so that you can get, I think, 60 days free with my link and thing. And this is not sponsored. This is not an endorsement or anything like that, but I will say doing the meditation under her in the app has helped me. And this week I did a 5-minute happiness meditation. I have done it probably for the past 3 to 4 days, and it has kind of helped regulate my feelings. I got some really good news one night after I did it. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post that in my stories. But meditating on happiness also kind of helped regulate my emotions and kind of bring me back and help me see myself to the other side so I could get back to journaling about gratitude, scripting about the positive things of my life. But I had to do the first 2 things. I had to let myself feel my feelings. I had to write down my frustrations, write down that angry feeling, then meditate on happiness. And the final thing I did, the final breakaway on taking a break from anger, was to then take a break in general to get back on track. A lot of times we try to do as much as we can to like not be angry. We bottle up. We try to do the quick recovery. And sometimes you just don't recover quickly. You know what I'm saying? If you are really mad about something and you're really frustrated about a whole bunch of things, like with me, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4 different things colliding. Kaboom. You know what I'm saying? And this is just a summary. Like it was these 4 main things, but it was so much stuff bubbling up on these different categories that I was just like, enough is enough. I'm mad. I'm going to toss something into a wall. Right? So after I did the meditation on happiness, I also had to kind of set some things up this week where I kind of took a break from being around people as much as I could and certain things. So I put blocks on my calendar where people could not get certain spaces of time. And it wasn't like I wasn't working. I was just kind of working by myself, and I wanted to make sure I had those blocks to kind of get my mind together. Because again, I didn't want to snap on anybody. My youngest daughter had an event this week. I was feeling a lot of pressure. Why don't you go? Even though I go to everything, you know, people try to do that mom guilt and stuff with you. And I didn't go, and I felt better about not going. And I explained to her I didn't go because I have been in such a funk. I didn't feel like being around people. And she was like, huh, that's happened to me before. I get it. She was like, are you feeling better now? And we had a good conversation around emotions. But I took a break. I took a break to try to get myself back on track. And during the break, what was I doing? Like, you know, again, I was meditating. I was journaling. I sat outside a lot during these breaks. I did a bunch of work outside. I just sat outside and just did nothing. I looked one day and I was like, I've really been sitting here just quietly on my phone reading for like 30 minutes. But it was the break that I needed to get myself mentally back on track. All right, let me go through those 4 breakaways for y'all again on taking a break from anger. Number 1, let yourself feel your feelings, okay? Number 2, write it down. Number 3, meditate on happiness. And number 4, take a break to get back on track. Drop a comment and let me know how you take a break from anger and maybe even for anger. I want to hear about it because I'm always ready to learn more so that I can better myself. As always, you can follow me on a bunch of different social media things. I'll have those listed in the notes, as well as the 4 breakaways. Until next time, I hope you find the time to take a break. Bye.